morning. Sorry about that. Today is Friday, August 7th, and this is our pre-market analysis of QOL trading. Those of you new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. Let's just get right into it right now. Looking at economic data that came out right now. Unemployment change, 75,000. Expected was 17,000. So that should be a spike to the market. Let's see here. Unemployment rate 6.4%. Average earnings down. Non-farm change 23,000. Unemployment rate 4.1, kind of in line there. So I expect an initial pop to the market. So let's just get into it and see what we got covered for today. Let's go over the VIX first. VIX is so pre-market right now. The VIX is elevated right now, so we'll see what it's going to do to the market. I think though the VIX should be definitely going a lot lower today. We'll see what happens though. But you can see we're below the 20 and the 50-day moving average, $17.07 on the 20. So that's a key level right here. I would say this 315 is an important level. Let's look at oil, see what oil is. Oil, we are still holding above the 200-day moving average at $76.23 a barrel. And you got $28 and $78.26. That's going to be a level that you're going to have to watch here in order to get over. However, we are below the 50 and below the 20. So you can pay attention to those levels. I'm just checking my broadcasting and seeing if we're okay here. Okay, there we are. Sorry about that, everybody. So as long as we're below this $80.49 a barrel, I like that. To be a nice level there to pull back. I'd like to get below the 76.23, which is the 200-day moving average, and then we could possibly get lower to the 71.63, which is that gap up from July 10th. Okay, let's get over to the ES. Yep, we're getting a little pop here in the morning here. I would say we're consolidating a little bit though, so nothing too earth-shattering here. You got this high here. There you go. 78, 20, 25. You can see we bounced right off. It came right down yesterday. If we do get above that, I don't have anything until you got 80,000, 8,055. So that would be a level on the upside if you can break and hold above that 78.20 level. But you can see right here, we're kind of consolidating here. Let's say as long as you're above this 77.49 level, you can continue to get some upside today. Ideal pullback for me would be down to this, maybe the 76.32.25, or maybe even the 75.99, 7600 level. That would be a decent level for support down there. Get over to the SPY. Same thing on the SPY. Going to have to get above the 776.85 level. You get above that, then you can start pushing towards this 825 level that I have marked on there. Nice little speed zone that we have over here, but you're gonna have to hold yesterday's lows, and you're gonna have to lose yesterday's lows in order for that to kind of flush out a little bit. I like this pullback. 760.40 would be a nice pullback if we get down there. We do have this gap up here from the other day, sitting at 744.55. So if things decide to flush too, that would be pretty good too. But right now things are looking pretty strong here in the pre-market. Let's get over to the Nasdaq. Yeah. So the Nasdaq's in an inflection point here. Got to get above this 29,783.54. This is a previous all-time high from the 14th of May. If you pop and hold above that when the market opens, I think you can push towards these 30,074 level. So right now we are making higher highs from yesterday. However, you got to watch this from the previous day here. We had a lower high and we had a lower low, right? So that's trending down here. That broke this upward trend here. So I would say got to get above it 30,112 in order to continue to push higher into the all-time highs, 30,693. If if you don't get above this 29,783.54 level and hold, we are getting above there right now. You're going to have to hold when the market opens. If not, come back down here, test this 50-day again. And if you lose the 50-day, I think we come back down here to this 29,066.41 level. Use same thing here. So we had a lower high from the previous day, and we had a lower low, right? So that broke this upward trend that we're having for the last week. So we'll see right now. I think if you can hold yesterday's high on the Qs, 719.32 when the market opens. I think as long as you're above that, I think you continue to push higher. And then, of course, if you can get above this 726.39 level, you push into the 730.83, and above that, 737.43. And then if you get above that, you push back towards all-time highs. On the downside, if you lose 719.32, you'll come back down here. You could come down to yesterday's close. Below yesterday's close, you have a 731.10. It supported that really nicely yesterday, though. So I would say that if it comes back down there again, you have to watch the price action. If we lose that, then I think you could start flushing back down here to the 20-day moving average, sitting at 700. But right now, things are pretty strong pre-market, but we'll see what happens. You got to watch out. The volume is not, even though this candle looks huge, the volume is not like it is during regular trading hours. Okay, let's get over to our Mag 7. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. So looking at NVIDIA right now, consolidating right now here is what it's showing me. Got to get above that 221.60 level. Get above that, then maybe you can get above. If you can get above these highs from yesterday, you can see big sellers came in there. This is a 15-minute, first 30 minutes. Tried to move higher, and then the sellers came in there and took control there. So I would say that you're going to have to get above that 223.63 level. If you do, I have clear sailing up to 236.54, right? It doesn't mean it's not going to go up and come down, but that's, those are the next levels that I have there. On the downside here, if we lose this 216.83, 214.39 is our next level of support, and below that, 211.34. It's a November 2025 high, so that's a pretty decent pullback. And then, of course, you have this 208.76. It's a May 27th low, and then below that, we have the 20 and 50-day moving average, which should give you some decent support at 206.17 level. So we're above the moving averages. Pullback longs should be your thesis. Okay. Moving into Apple, strongest stock on the market right now. You can see the first 30 minutes yesterday gave you the same thing that NVIDIA gave you. Try to move higher. Sellers took over for the rest of the day. Held the 50-day moving average at 309.74. Got to get above this midline regressional trend line. If you get above this 314.42, 317.40 is a previous high you can push into. And if you get above that, you're going to move into the 20-day moving average at 323.53. That'll be a decent level there for some resistance here. So right now, we're in between the 50 and in between the 20. Right, so you're kind of trading in between a channel here. Looks like it's consolidating here. So the longer it consolidates, the bigger the breakout's going to be one way or the other when it happens, right? So we had, pretty much had, over a week of consolidation right now. So we'll see what happens here. If you get above 316.29, you could push higher, but I would watch out for that 317.40 level. On the downside, if we lose yesterday's lows, I would call this, actually, it was a point of control. I don't even know if it filled 308.86. It did not. Actually, I'm going to move this higher. But we still have an open point of control here at 308.97. Did not touch it yet. So that's still open here from the 5th, right? So you have to pay attention to that the market should come down and touch that point of control. It doesn't always do it, but the probabilities are pretty high that it does. So same thing, got to get above this 314.24 level in order to continue to push higher here. Let's get over to Meta. Meta right now, same thing, consolidating. Big wickiness yesterday, and not really. Let's see what kind of move we're getting right now in the market here. 88. Yeah, we're not getting a big move on Meta right now. So I would say Meta is still consolidating. Oh, excuse me. We're below the 50 at 600. That's a big level here. You see that how it respected that the other day. I would say right now, It did not make a lower, it made a lower high, but it didn't make a lower low. So we're consolidating right now. So I would say watch yesterday's low. If you lose this 585.01 level, I think you come down to 578.25 level for that to get touched. We have this open control, this open point of control of 549.53. That's a big level. So the market kind of skated away from that. So I would use that 549 as a pretty decent level there and leave that on your charts. On the upside, got to get above this midline midline regressional trend line at 596.94 in order to push back into the 609.20. Okay, let's look at Google. Google. What do we got here? Google here. Big speed zone down here. If you can get above this 363.09, I'd like us to push back into this 370.360 level. Pretty decent speed zone that it could recoup there. So same thing here. We did not make lower lows yesterday. It was kind of right on it. So it looks like it's consolidating right now. So I would watch here. Get it, in order to get it long here, 363.09, got to break and hold above that, and then we can refill this big speed zone that we had there. On the downside here, still have this gap up here from the 31st of July that did not fill yet, 353.87. If we lose that and the 352.83, which is a June 24th high, I think we come back down here to the 100 and the 200 348.10. And then below that, we have a 344.12 for some support here. But I like the speed zone. When I see this on the charts, I like this. Look, we had a speed zone on the way up, and boom, it covered it on the way down. Speed zone on the way up here, covered it, almost covered it there, but then it filled it over here a few days later. And, right here, we had the speed zone right down here from 337. So you got to watch those levels. So if we did flush down here to that 348.10 level and you lose it, it's a good chance that this gets filled back also, right? Amazon kind of drifting lower a little bit, but now it's kind of holding up a little bit, consolidating. Got to hold yesterday's lows. You can see we made a lower high, and we did make a lower low, so it's still kind of trending down. I would say if you can get above this 275.48, then maybe you could push back into this 278.25 level, and then maybe into this upper regressional trend line at 282.20. On the downside here, I would say if you flush out, you lose yesterday's lows. I would say not even yesterday's lows. I'm going to say Wednesday's lows here, 270.73. If you lose 270.73, you could flush down to 262.07. So here's your line in the sand here. Break and hold above 275.48. You could possibly push into 278.14, and then above that, 282.32. Downside, if you lose 270.73, could flush to 262.07. All right. Go to Microsoft. So Microsoft is kind of, I would say, everything is kind of consolidating right now, right? So you did, in pre-market yesterday, you made a lower low. However, made a higher high. So at the end of the day, you made that higher high, but it's just kind of stuck in this range here. We are well above the 200 at 433.16 and the 20 and the 50. The 20 sitting at 418.09. So your thesis, as I said, as you're over the moving averages, is pull back long. So you're buying the dip, right? So you're looking for your levels here. I don't mind this 478 level for a pullback. If it did pull back there, I would say this may even be a decent pullback on your scalping for today. 492.53. If you pull back, that could be a decent level. However, if you lose that, here's your speed zone that we talk about all the time. And you could come back down here 481.70 to 478 level, right? And then if you lose this 475.71, the 468.35 come into play, as well as the 456.16. Okay, SpaceX really quickly. I mean, stop covering this until it starts getting interesting, but there's really nothing to report here. Just put these levels on your charts if you're trading it. Right now, 117.59, respecting that pre-market here. It did make a higher high, but yesterday we were lower high, right, and lower low, but nothing significant. So it's just not enough flow to be going back and forth right now. So I would say if you're below this 115.08 level, I'm not looking long. Got to get above that. So if you flush out and you continue to flush out, 107.01 is a level to come back down here. Maybe this. Oh, we do have a point of control open. Sorry about that. So 110.53 is a point of control from yesterday. So we'll put that on the charts here for you. So we pull back to this level. I don't mind this, if I was trading it. 110.50, 110.53. I don't think that's unreasonable for that to pull back to. Close out this point of control. If you lose that, then you've got a 107.01 level there. And then below that, the only thing I have here is this 104.83 on the downside. On the upside, I'm not thinking long unless you're above 117.50, 117.59. And then if you can break and hold above that, then you can push back into this 120.36, where you're you most likely gets a little resistance up there because you are below the 20-day at 121.45. Okay, let's get into Tesla. If you're new to the channel again, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and also subscribe so you get future notifications on videos. Tesla getting your push right now. So here we are above yesterday's high, 323. That's an important level right now. Maybe you could start filling some of these speed zones that we have here. It was for the last few days. It was making a lower high and lower lows, lower high and lower lows. And now yesterday, maybe you got your support here at 315.52. Big level here of resistance here. And if you're above this 323 level from yesterday's high, I don't mind the longs. Take the long here. And then, but you got to watch out for this high here from the third at 324.65. And then I think if we could get above this 326.36 level, I've got a better speed zone look here for us. Clean this up. So here is this beautiful speed zone that we have here from the earnings report, right? So if you can get above this 329.57 level, I'd like us to push into 337.24, which is an April low. And then if you continue to push through that, you can recoup this entire speed zone that we have here. On the downside today, Tesla's looking pretty strong pre-market, so we'll see what happens here. Downside, get rid of that. If it does flush, got to hold this 320.79 level. Right now, if you can make your higher highs and we do not make a lower low from yesterday, then I think we can start pushing back into these higher levels right now. So here's that speed zone level, 326.36. So that's really ideal. If you can really see the market push and hold above that level, and I like to push it. It definitely tests this 329.57 level. And then, of course, if we can get above that, I've got 337.24 as that next level on the upside there. So good pre-market push right now. Let's see if it holds up when the market opens up. What am I going to do for today? Today, I'm not even going to mess with today's expiration date. I'm going right to Monday. I'm going to have a 325 call for Monday. It closed at $2.50, but we are getting a nice little push from yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was $3.19. Currently, we're up $4 right now. So this call premium price should open up in the threes, maybe high threes. And this put price at $3.15 closed at $2.45 because we're $4 higher. That's going to be lower. So I may change this put price as the market opens up, but we do have 2 days of expiration on it, so we have some time. We have some time for these premiums to move up and down, right? You're not going to get an implied volatility crush, which means that if you're trading on 0DTs, doesn't matter if the stock is moving in your direction on the calls. It doesn't necessarily mean that as you get closer to the end of the day, this is going to be a depleted number, right? As long as unless it's above the 325 call, and right now it's not, right? So, but this is on Monday's expiration date, so we have time for this. So this will open up at a higher premium. Okay, that's going to be it for today. If you're new to the channel, again, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, go down in the description and join all our other links that we have. You can join our Discord community. You can go and get on our website and subscribe to the weekly newsletter. And then if I don't see you in the trade room, I'll see everybody on Monday. And also put your name and email address on our website so you can get the weekly newsletter on Sundays. Thanks, people. Have a great day.